Okay, so with the awning, or no. Alright, so with the bed rack finished and kind of preliminarily mounted onto the truck, I'm going to do some awning brackets. The awning I bought is an 8-foot Napa Maxi-Track brand awning, and these are the brackets it came with. Only two, and they're just bent strips of steel. Now, I don't have total faith in this, so we're going to make our own. We're going to make them better. We're going to do 3 since the bed rack has 3 hoops, so 3 good points to mount to, and we're going to make them a lot stronger than this. To do, well, second to last thing to do on the bed rack, cut out the awning brackets. They're going to bend and mount something like this. Obviously there's a piece missing, so we'll weld here and we'll weld along here. So those two, we bend here, bend here, bend here. Then the only weld we'll have to do is that join and that join. So 2 lines of weld, drill some holes, mount. I'm going to make 3 of these. The awning is going to, it's a really long awning. It's about 100 inches long. My bed is only about 60 inches. So there is going to be about 40 inches of overhang towards the front of the truck, which is not ideal. 20 to 30 is usually kind of the maximum, but I do feel pretty alright doing this because I'm going to have 3 mounts. They'll be pretty sturdy. Okay, so cut out my first of 3 brackets. Cleaned up, had to kind of cut them out in, a bunch of straight lines and then trim away a lot of the excess. It's time consuming, but don't have a plasma table. I've marked out where I want my 4 holes. These will mount to the roof rack. They're all going to be 25/64. They'll take 3/8 hardware, grade 8. And then up here, these are going to be 21/64. The hardware that's included with the awning is a little smaller. I am going to go to Ace and swap it out for all grade 8 hardware, just because there's not a lot of markings on what came with it. I don't know if I trust it. So, these 2 holes, that'll be where the awning mounts to the roof rack. We're going to drill first, and then after we've done that, then we can bend and weld. And before we paint, I'm going to do a test fit. Alright, here's our awning. Two bolts. Let's see. Beautiful. All right. So, now that that's done, I can bend and weld this bracket while my angle grinder battery finishes charging. Oh, well, okay. We're going to try the easy bend. What I thought would be the easy bend. Yeah, there we go. Alright, one down. Alright, just took the grinder and scored two lines where I want to bend. To be clear, we're not cutting through the material, we're just removing enough that it creates a weak point that it'll bend around. So let's see if that works. Alright, one last thing I can try. We've got a couple pieces of structural channel that I had laying around in various sizes, and we're going to try and use the bench vise. Okay, so that didn't work. The only thing that's working really is using this wrench as a really big lever. So the sides are not going to be super even. I'm hoping I can just put them in the vise after we're done with this and try to at least get them close. Alright, look at that. So, what we're doing here, it's a little hacky that got this nice chunk of box tube for a future project. We plop that in there like so. Press it together in the vise. I'm about to run out of battery on the camera, but we got our bracket bent, not without some difficulty, using the good old swing press and the vise. Next step, we are going to set it up on here. This is where it's going to mount. We're going to measure distance. But it's going to overhang 3/4 of an inch for me. Then we'll mark holes and drill them. we go. Okay, before I go and weld this, there are a couple of design choices I made that I wanted to go over and explain why I did what I did. Firstly, in designing that I only have to weld along the vertical seams, it allows that basically I have to worry a lot less about, I mean, this is definitely going to cool, or warp and change shape a little bit as the welds cool. But I don't have to worry about it affecting my mount too much. Therefore, I don't have to worry too much about setting up a jig or proper rope holding. The other design choice I made that I wanted to touch on real quick is this hole. I've got one in each, and that is because these are going to sit like this on the rack. Now, the downside to something like this is it's going to fill with water and snow since I live up north here. So this hole is to give that water and snow somewhere to go to drain instead of just puddling and sitting here and rusting the thing all to hell. Now, it's not going to get all the water out, but the nice thing here is very rarely am I going to be on perfectly level ground, so if the truck is tilted this way a little bit, most of the water can drain out the hole. And if the truck is tilted this way a little bit, well, the water, I don't have to worry about it pooling anywhere. Alright, on to welding. I'm going to tack it at the top to keep these pointed corners from warping in or out as I go, and I'll run a full V. Not too bad, actually. I had to fight the thing a whole lot more welding the rest of the rack, so I have not a ton of concern about this falling apart. We're all right. There we go. We got 3 brackets. Next step, let them cool, clean them up a little bit, paint, and then they're ready to go on. Alright, so obviously it's wintertime. Look at me waiting half an entire year to record my outro, but here we are. Bed rack is on the truck. I actually mounted my CB antenna on there because I messed up and drilled holes on the wrong side for the awning mounts, so repurposed them for that. Got the tent on there. I got my taillight and backup camera. Works very, very well. And then here's the awning mounts. So, as you can see, just a bit beefier than what they came with. But I can move the whole truck by it, and it's not a concern. So, I did have to trim down a little bit in there for the tent to clear, but we still had enough height between the bottom of the tent and this member that we had this bend and this material here, which it was important to me for not bending the mounts. And I got my drain holes, and it all works really well. So, thank you all for watching, and have a great day.